weeks. Now, our another co-host for this session is Mr. Sagar Bajani sir. He is a co-founder of Kitchdi Wala. He has over 10 years of experience in business operations. He has been former senior systems executives at Cognizant Technology Solutions. He is a passionate petrol head and loves woodworking. Taking this session ahead, firstly, let me wish you all a very happy Friendship Day on this beautiful morning of Sunday. Today's session is on customer empathy. It primarily focuses on understanding and addressing customer needs. It makes us see from the customer's perspective. The aim is to enhance customer satisfaction through empathetic engagement. It is a key to creating user-centric products and services. Simply what we are trying to say is let's make our customer our friends. Saying this, let's begin this Gupshup session. Over to you, Deepak sir.
Okay. Okay, wonderful. Very good morning, all of you. Sabhi ko mera namaskar. Happy to be part of this another edition of Gupshup, which is into its 68th edition, if I'm correct. So, Simran, can you confirm my audio visuals, please?
Yes, sir, you are perfectly audible.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. So, happy Friendship Day, everyone. I think it's a nice Sunday morning. It's been raining here in Nagpur. I'm sure you would also be witnessing this monsoon rains in your respective cities. And Friendship Day makes this day more special because we'll be talking about customers, which I think has to be our first friends probably, and then anyone else as an entrepreneur. So I think this has been one of our endeavors for the benefit of the community, that we have been hosting this kind of gupshups, which are an informal learning spaces, which are specifically for our community members. And for the benefit of larger audience, they are live streamed on YouTube, as this session is also being live streamed. So only a handful of community members are invited to be part of the actual conversations, and the remaining, I think, on the YouTube, we have this entire content available for the public. So these gupshups are mostly conversation based. So where the participants would in the Zoom room will have a chance to ask questions, get into the discussions, and that's what make it a mutual co-learning experience rather than only 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 the flow of information from one side. So with this, I'll quickly. I've been hosting these gupshups for almost last many years, and every gupshup has been absolutely enriching for me, where I get a lot of new insight, new learnings. I get to meet a lot of stupid people like me, a lot of crazy people who have been trying to do something or the other in terms of their work, their innovation, their creation, their change. And I think it's one of the best ways for me to celebrate my Sunday every day. So every Sunday morning 10 is something that we have been trying to do this, and I'm glad today we have a good bunch of participants from our community who have joined to be part of the active conversations. I'm happy to welcome Purvi. I think Purvi for us has been one of the COVID startup founders for Lemon, because it was during COVID time that Purvi and her team got introduced to us at Lemon Ideas when we were running the COVID-19 challenge. It was 2020, and I think since last 4 years, Purvi and her team has been doing fantastic work when it comes to these safety electronic gadgets, and I'm sure they are opening their first offline store in Ahmedabad. So I'm very happy, and I would want to congratulate Purvi from the entire ecosystem at Lemon Ideas for being able to achieve this. And I think one thing I would want to mention about Arista World and Purvi in context of this topic has been because they have pivoted very well during the COVID time. They got the idea started, and immediately when they realized कि बस कोविड के भरोसे जिंदगी नहीं चलेगी, they were very quick to change and very quick to pivot to a new range of products, which is a smart luggage, is what I think they call it. So Purvi has been one of our kind of one of the finest of founders in the lemon ecosystem, and I'm very happy to have Purvi in this conversation with me today on the customer empathy. Thank you, Purvi, for joining in for the on this Sunday morning.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
And another co-host for me is again Sagar. So I'm so happy to co-host this with our entrepreneurs who have passed through their entire journey through Lemon, and now they are kind of with us on this forum. So Sagar is probably our first experiment at Lemon Ideas, which I would say, I think almost 10, 11 years back when just started Lemon Ideas, and I had no clue कि हम क्या करने वाले हैं, and just started कि कुछ करना है, and the space has been very new. At that point of time, there was nothing about like Startup India, nothing. We just started कि कुछ करेंगे, we'll do something in terms of solving some problems and supporting some innovations. And that's how the first experiment of our training program, where Sagar was one of the participants. And I think he came from Germany. He was into some designing, he was into some technical stuff, and he joined that very stupid program, which had no historical perspective and no credibility. We just launched it, and he was part of that program, and that's how probably the first baby of Lemon, Kitchdi Wala, was born way back, I think almost 10 years back. So I'm happy to have Sagar on this conversation because their product is directly for customers where they have been innovating this traditional patient ka khana jo bolte hain khichdi. I think they have completely transformed khichdi into a brand where Kitchdi Wala has been one of the prominent ventures. They have multiple locations, and I think their innovation with food continues. And I'm very happy to have you, Sagar. Welcome to this Gupshup session, Sagar.
Thank
So
you,
with
sir.
this,
Equally excited.
yeah, I think, and I'm happy to meet you because these are some occasions for us to meet our ecosystem entrepreneurs and co-founders, and that's how I make this connection always live and I think enriching for us. So very happy to have you, Sagar, here this morning. So with Friendship Day, wishing wishes to you all once again. I think I would again would welcome once again, and we'll get into the conversation which is today for us, which is this customer empathy. So I think this is one of my one of the specific I think challenges which I've been seeing with a lot of entrepreneurs, where I think a lot of times, probably 80% of entrepreneurs whom I meet, and probably they are struggling. The common element would be customer empathy. So I think this is where a lot of entrepreneurs like me and like you, so we are all in the same boat. We end up making some products for no one. So that's how I specifically make this statement that let's not make something for no one. So this reminds me of the whole dialogue from Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge, which was one of my favorite movies because I was in that youthful time that time, and we used to enjoy such movies where there was an era of all the love stories during those 1990s time, and there was this specific mention that there's someone somewhere made for you. So I think that's how I relate to this entire context of customer empathy, where understanding the customer, the empathy is basically the feeling element. If you can feel like a like a customer, if you can actually sense the pain of your customer, if you can know their need, if you can know their basic desires, I think that really takes care of a lot of problems where we'll not end up making something which is for no one. So let's have that someone very clearly in our mind, and probably that's what is the agenda today. So I'll just set the context of understanding the customer at every stage of your journey. So there are a lot of participants here who probably are at a stage where they are yet to start or they are just starting up. there are a lot of participants who have started. They have been participating in our recent opener competition, which is into the season 11. So I think there are participants like Devendra from DriveTech, again one of our prominent startups in this ecosystem, working on the automotive testing. And I think Devendra, I did had some mention about you in one of my conversations recently, and probably I'll have a separate talk with you. But yes, I'm happy to see you in this Gupshup. So Devendra has been coming to these Gupshups regularly, and he has been contributing to this edition. So I think that there are the audience is of of different kinds. So I would want Purvi and Sagar to touch upon the aspect of customer understanding at every stage. Like, for example, when you are thinking of entrepreneurship, when you are just trying to take the first step, you're like, I'm ignited, I want to do something. So वो एक phase होता है जब you have that energy that you want to do something. So at that stage, what is that something, someone, where is that someone, वो कहाँ है, कैसे है, कहाँ है, उसको कैसे हो जाए. Then second stage is where you have identified something and कि चलो this is my direction specific, this specific latitude longitude of your forward journey. So you have some clarity कि मुझे इस दिशा में जाना है. Then how does this customer empathy plays role? And then the third stage is where you build something, you have something to offer to your so-called god, so-called customer. And then how does the customer empathy takes a shape based on the feedback and the kind of experiences which you get when you start offering your products and services. And so finally, when you think everything is set and now you want to make 10 as 1,000. So how is that will unfold in terms of understanding your customer need, desires, and feelings. So with this, I think I'll quickly move on to Purvi. Purvi, I want you to share your perspective on customer empathy, and then we'll take the conversation forward. Over to you, Purvi.
So much, Deepak sir, for inviting me here. And it's a pleasure talking to the budding entrepreneurs and the co-entrepreneurs, my co-host. So I welcome you all, and thank you so much for Deepak sir for giving me opportunity and the platform to speak up about what the customer journey, and I will correlate it to my organization, how we worked. So we started in 2018. I remember the idea spark in 2017 when I met my other co-founders, and our entire, so customer empathy is the thing where we need to understand people. So it is like your customer doesn't care what you know. It is that what you care about them. It is their frustration feeling, good feeling, bad feeling, their needs, their desires, everything, but it is only about customer. So whenever you're thinking about product, you need to think of this area, I think, as a mainstream. So when we started with the entire Arista World, so my company Arista World, which is India's first smart luggage brand. So when we started it, the entire journey or the entire idea was based on the customer problem itself. So we started with this notion that in India, there are $7.5 billion worth of luggage loss every year. And then this wallet and mobile loss is also like in 2017 report, we have seen that 25 lakh rupees of wallet and mobile lost, which is reported every year, which is not reported. We don't have even a record of. So all those things, when we got to know that, okay, this is very big thing, and people are carrying their luggages. They are taking suitcases, luggage, wallets, mobile, but the loss and theft and the misplacement, or simply you're leaving it behind, is very common, and that's how your belongings, your beloved belongings, I would say, are not with you. And then there's another kind of a travel hassle that you are doing, or a hustle that you are doing. So there's no mental peace and all that. So we started identifying with one incident which happened. One of my co-founder, Atul Gupta, so he lost his wallet in Delhi Metro. And that's a very common thing, that in pickpocketing, through pickpocketing of mobile phone or wallet, there are a lot of loss and things are happening in India, especially in crowded places like Delhi Metro, bus stations, airport, the luggage exchange and the luggage loss. We know each and every day the data, we hear the incidences. So he said that why don't we? So I was presenting in one of my show at India Runway Week, and after the show, he and Colonel met me, and they said that why don't we join hands together and we should create something which add more value to the ecosystem of what luggage right now is. Right now we have a luggage which is very idle luggage. Like idle means it is non-moving, nothing, and you need to take care of your luggage. So that's a very big problem that customers are facing from since so long. And we started working with that notion since 2017. In 2018, we incorporated the company and we worked, we researched, we went to the places, we talked to the customers, we talked to people, not customer, we talked to people. It is not about the user. When you are saying customer empathy, you do not don't you know don't like don't analyze them as your user, analyze them as the people. So we talked to people, and we got to know that yes, this is a very big problem, and if something comes with this solution, the luggage which can take care of itself, the luggage which you will never lose, the luggage which can take care of your mobile as well. So people said that yes, we did research, and after the strong R&D, the product creation, we created the product in 2019, and then 2020 happens in COVID. But then also we were developing the product. We invented another product which is related to COVID, and we met Deepak sir, Lemon Ideas, and they have given us the platform chance to release our first COVID product, and we did that. But in the back of our operations, that product, the smart luggage product, was going on. And we were not developing one product, which is a smart wallet, which is anti-loss, anti-theft wallet. We were developing the entire vision, the chain of product. So now, since then, we never looked back. So now we have understood the points. We did research. We released the prototypes. We released first prototype of our product to the market through Amazon Launchpad. And then we got some good positive feedback. We also got some feedback that how, like, not only anti-loss, anti-theft, they want charging also with the wallets. So we give the charging facility to the wallets, and then anti-loss, anti-theft charging, and it makes a complete package of a smart wallet. So whenever you take care of your customer, you always take them, the people in your mind, and you work for their problem on their, a little bit of suggestion and feedback by releasing your product. So you create something really exceptional and good. And that's how we created our first smart wallet series. And then people really liked it. Also, we got data which says that it saves 6 lakhs theft and misplace and losses. That also the data. So analyze the data as well, because it is very important. But it is very important to use that data not only for selling, but also to understand your customer, to empathize with them. So we understand, and that's how we have also scored NPS, net promoter skill. That is very important. You got the customer love is very important. Then only you can create the retention. So how we created retention after smart wallets, we presented the smart bags. So we got to know from their feedback only that they need personalized bags. So how about biometric bags? So that's how we have invented laptop bags with your fingerprint enabled. Only you can open your laptop bag or backpack or something like that. It is meant for airports or the areas where you want, or your home where you want your luggage or your bags to be really secured. So that's how, on the basis on the feedback, and that's our top selling for now. So that's we have created. And then you might have seen that recently we appeared in Shark Tank India season 3, and we got deal from Anupam Mittal. So there we have launched the third product, and which is also based on a very big problem of dragging your luggage and also the luggage exchange at airports. And that's a smart luggage. And the smart luggage is a follow me luggage. It can follow you. You can even ride on it, because average Indian airport distance is 3.5, like 3.4 kilometers, international airports. So you need to walk for 3.4 kilometers. And then you have a lot of things in your hands, the coffee, mobile phone, your tickets, and you're just, you're just hustling from one counter to another counter then. And if you have people also around that, you have children also around you, and then you are dragging the luggage, we stop that kind of a problem also. We want to give solution to the customers, and that's how we have invented this robo suitcase, which is automatic suitcase, which can follow you, which can follow your direction. You don't need to drag it. It's also anti theft, anti loss. It connected with you so well that no one can take it apart from you. And also it's a ride on feature. Whenever you feel tired, so you can sit on it and this luggage can take you to, and we have suffered with this luggage to national and international boundaries also. So these are the three categories: smart wallet, smart bags, and smart luggage that we have invented. And also it is based on the customer empathy, customer feedback, their things. And now also, after that, if you have created the product based on that feedback, but then also if you have to analyze the data, listen to them. Like we used to troubleshoot on each of our products sale. We used to give that we used to take the call to the customer. The same time, whenever we used to sell one product, we used to take a call of the customer, and we understand their points. We make them understand that how the product works. We give them training, and they are trained because this is a new category, so we need to train them. And that's how. So always, since the beginning of the journey, when you are doing the marketing through the last mile, when you are doing after the sales, when you are at the service point, so you need to be with the customer. Why? Because it will earn you the retention, and retention is very important. So that's happened with us. Customer buys the wallet, they buy the bag, and they only buy the suitcase from us. Now if they are loyal to Arista World, India's first smart luggage, they would never go to any ordinary luggage anymore. So that's how our
Thank
journey.
you. Thank you, Purvi. I think I'll quickly highlight what Purvi mentioned makes a lot of sense when it comes to a lot of interactions with customers, the feedback. Probably not customers exactly. They are not your customer when you start talking to them. They become your future customers. So they are in fact any general people, by say, who might have a problem. And in this case, there were no alternative products, but there was an alternative solutions to it. So there was a problem, but there were no products. So it was not like a product competing with some alternative product. It was like a new solution competing with the previous solution. So there's a difference between the solution and the product, and why I think which very clearly is visible in the story of Arista World, where how they have been interacting with customer at every stage, and they have kind of innovated the products to one range, to second range, to third range. And I think the importance of data, I think this is absolutely worth mentioning again, that the kind of data, if you can get about your space, about your problem, about your solutioning, I think those, because data speaks louder than words, and experiences speak louder than data. So I think they have very well followed this sequence where from the words they have gained into data, and from data they have gained through their own experiences. And I think I've seen their products. I think absolutely their packaging and the kind of finish it has. It's absolutely, it doesn't look. In fact, I remember 3 years back where some of their products landed in our office, and there were two of our mentors who were here in office, and they asked me, ये कहीं बाहर से import किया है क्या आपने? And I think that was the kind of compliment which I wanted to give to Purvi always. I think that product आप अगर देखेंगे तो आपको लगेगा ही नहीं कि ये भारत में बना हुआ product. And I personally witnessed, so I'll do a sales pitch for Purvi again here, that you should definitely look at the kind of products Arista World have made. And finally, don't be surprised when you're traveling next time on airports and you see a lot of bags traveling on their own. So don't see like this is some magic happening, but always remember there is Arista World behind that. So thank you, Purvi, for that story and that kind of importance.
And so we also have an opening of our first store at Ahmedabad Airport, Adani Airport. So people will
Wonderful.
experience our product from there.
Yeah, so if you are in Ahmedabad, don't miss out to visit the Arista World place there in the airport. And I'm sure you must be thinking कि यार ये product मेरे पास आना चाहिए. So बिल्कुल आप पूर्वी हमारे साथ में है, आपको स्पेशल डिस्काउंट भी दे देगी. दैट्स माय एश्योरेंस टू यू. Anyway, so moving forward, I request, let's have some khichdi in the morning now. So over to you, Sagar, about how has been your experience on this aspect of customer understanding and empathy. Sagar.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for inviting me to do this, to share my experience. So, I would like to start with the words customer empathy. It basically connects to the emotions of the customer. Okay, so any purchase for of any commodity today is an emotional purchase. It is an emotional decision for a customer. So, whenever you're selling a service or a product, the customer is invested in your product for that amount of time until he, you know, uses that product or consumes it. So, it is very, very important to understand the customer emotions related to your service or the product. This is because that will give you the real perspective of what you're actually doing. Uh, there is a theory which says there are four A's of customer empathy, which is awareness, acknowledge, uh, one second, appreciate, and adapt. Right. So it basically tells you when you sell a product or give a service, you have to be aware what you exactly are doing. So once you do that, once you know what the customer wants, then that's what you will want to give the customer. Okay. So in case of khichdi, I'll relate it with our product so that it is easier for you to understand. I'll take it along our journey so that how the product has evolved or how the service has evolved, it will make you understand much better. So we started in 2014 with a standalone restaurant which was serving only khichdis, and we were the first ones to do it. We would sell only khichdis, and nobody else was doing that at that point of time. Selling khichdis was considered to be stupid by many of our first customers. Many people told us, "बॉस तुम क्या कर रहे हो? डोसा बेचो, इडली बेचो, रोटी बेचो, खिचड़ी तो घर में बनती है. Who will come and eat at your place?" That was a differentiator for us, and that was the blue ocean which we were in. We wanted to be that because the whole idea of selling khichdis was to serve something healthy in a fast food manner. So we had actually understood, not completely, but then we had a vague idea that the food which is available, the fast food which was available at that point of time, is mostly junk, and we wanted to give something healthy. So this was the first point. This was one of the first gaps in the market which we had identified, and this was what we wanted to tap into. That's why khichdi. And when once we started it, it was a standalone restaurant, and there people would come in, they would eat, they would go. So this was back in 2014 when Swiggy and Zomato were not there in Nagpur. We started from Nagpur, Maharashtra. So they came about in 2015. By the end of 2015 in Maharashtra, Zomato first, Swiggy later, then was Uber Eats. So, how why I'm telling you this is earlier when it was just a standalone restaurant, we would get to interact with the customers. So when we give the khichdi to the customer, give the food to the customer, we would instantly after making the bill, after the customer pays the bill, we would always ask the customer, how is the food? How did you like the experience? How were the plates? How was the spoon? Whatever, everything related to our product. Because we were new in the market, we wanted to know everything related to our product. So we would get first-hand information back then. Later on, what happened is now I will tell you now, 2024, majority of our business is online. So 80% of our sales is online sale and 20% is dine in, because we just have two dine in outlets, which were the ones which we opened earlier, and now we've pivoted to cloud kitchens only. So now what has happened is the sale, because the sale is online and it is predominantly through these three major channels, Swiggy, Zomato, Magic Pen. What has happened is we do not get to interact with the customer. Okay, these people don't even share the customer numbers with us because apparently it is a privacy issue. Uh, but what they have done well now over the years, like they've also developed their product and service with feedback from restaurant partners like us, is they take feedback on different various points, like packaging, like service, or how the taste is the time of the preparation good or quick or not. So all this gives us the data wherein we have to, dig deep and see where we are going wrong or where we can improve and what we can do in terms of improving the experience for the customer. This is where the customer empathy comes in, because if, and any business does well only if you have repeat customers. There is no business which will do good only for the new customers. It is very rare to sustain for a longer time. It might initially, but then to sustain it is very important that you have a good repeat rate. And that happens only if the customer likes your service or your product, which will happen only if you know what a customer knows, what a customer wants from you. And that will happen when you take a regular feedback uh, on the basis of different factors which affect the experience. In our case, taste; in our case, packaging; in our case, delivery time; in our case, the price point. That is also very important. So all these things matter a lot when you consider customer empathy, and regular feedback is something which you have to do. So we started with close to 7 khichdis when we did. Now we are giving close to 32 khichdis, and this is why, because upon constantly getting feedback and asking, uh, and food is a space where people get bored very quickly. Okay, there are some hit khichdis which always do good, but then people constantly look for something new in the menu. So for that, upon customer feedback only, we had to introduce new flavors, new khichdis and new items, so that customer is constantly intrigued and interested in your service. So this happens. So there is a way to do it. That's how we have figured it out. I don't know if that's right or not, but that's working for us. So whenever we come up with a new khichdi, we try to give it to our regular customers, the ones which come regular, order regularly, or we give it to our customers online with a small sampler. We take a feedback by calling them or sending them a message. Calling them is difficult nowadays, but then if it's a regular customer, then we kind of get their numbers. So that helps us in telling us whether the product is good, not good, what needs to be improved, what has to be changed, if it will make sense. So that sampling is very important for us. It gives us a real world feedback, and if it doesn't pass the customer sentiment, the customer test, then we do not release that product. So yeah, that's the thing which we follow.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
Thank you, Sagar. And I think I still remember those evenings on the traffic park in Nagpur where we used to experiment with khichdis, and you guys used to prepare khichdis at your home, and in a roadside counter, we used to just sell khichdis
Absolutely,
and
sir. Absolutely. We'll never forget those days. Those were the first validation, no, that the
validation.
idea could work. Yeah. Yeah.
So that I think that's where the starting point of khichdi was to give khichdis to customers and get the feedback. And in fact, when the experimentation phase stopped, a lot of customers started following up with Sagar and Manish कि भाई तुम बंद क्यों कर दिया अब तुम कब शुरू करोगे And I remember that conversation with both of the co-founders of Khichdi Wala when after the pilot was done. In fact, after 3 months, they came back and we had a conversation. Customers are wanting khichdi to be started back and they want khichdi to be served. So that worked probably the most irrespective of all the fears and concerns of starting khichdi as a full-fledged business venture. I think those conversations where I still remember those 2 3 names, सागर मेरे को अभी भी वो 2 3 आपके कस्टमर्स के नाम भी याद है जो आपको फोन कर करके बोलते थे कि भाई खिचड़ी कब शुरू करोगे, खिचड़ी कब शुरू करोगे. And I think that probably gave a lot of confidence to both these young people that
That was the only, sir, customer validation was the only driving factor. So for the listeners, I am an engineer, no background with food, no
food.
background with business. My partner was into his second year of MBA. He's done his BCom, sorry, BBA, and then into MBA. So we absolutely had no, you know, anything to do with the food business, no experience, nothing. So the only reason we got into it was people liked it and we thought we can do this and
Right.
it is something new. And yeah, I mean, over the years it's worked out
Yeah.
fine, I guess.
So,
Yeah.
Sagar, can you name few the best-selling khichdi recipes that you have for the benefit of audience? They may be surprised कि ये 32 नाम खिचड़ी के कैसे बन सकते हैं. But if you can throw few most prominent names in your menu card.
Sure. So a few of our best sellers are dal khichdi, mixed veg khichdi, then there is garlic khichdi. Some of our innovative khichdis are Italian khichdi, which tastes something like a risotto. It's made with rice, lentils, and it's made in white sauce. So yeah, this is one of our khichdis. Then we have corn and spinach khichdi. We have a Mexican khichdi now. Yeah,
All right,
so some
thank
of
you.
those, yes.
So I'm sure if you are in Nagpur, they have 2 outlets in Nagpur. Do search Khichdi Wala and do pay a visit to these outlets in Nagpur. If you are in Bangalore, you can definitely order khichdi on various online portals. So that's what I think you can definitely take advantage of khichdi recipes. Thank you, Sagar, for the journey of khichdi as a humble food and more or less it was, I think, few years back when our Prime Minister Modi ji announced khichdi as a national food. So then I think it became like, oh my God, मतलब जो nobody thought कि ये 10 साल पहले ये patients का खाना, hospitals का खाना, नानी दादी का खाना could become like a national food, and that's what I think khichdi probably is India's first established khichdi brand in the country. So a lot of congratulations to Sagar for having been able to pursue and that persistent कितने साल बाद भी khichdi is something that you have been innovating and you are able to take it forward. A lot of applaud for you. So
Thank you,
before,
sir. Lemon has been instrumental in all that. So
yeah, I
a
think
lot of it
पहला
goes
बच्चा
to
हमेशा
lemon.
पहला रहेगा. So khichdi हमारे लिए पहला baby and it will always remain our first baby. And so we keep touching upon khichdi whenever we get a chance. So thank you, Sagar, for that. I will quickly would want Devendra from DriveTech also to share very quickly his perspective, and then we'll open up for the audience to have their say. So Devendra, very quick note from your side on customer empathy. I think you're on mute, Devendra.
I think already Sagar ji and Purvi has mentioned a lot about customer empathy. For me, I would only like to start with uh, first we have to be a customer before we sell anything to our customer. Actually, it starts with that. So if you have been a customer, you are able to understand the market, you are able to understand the requirements, and if you are able to solve the pain points, and if you are really making it worth for what the customer is paying. So I believe in this era of digital currency, nowadays many people are forgetting the message that is written on the 100 500 rupees note, like I promise the bearer to pay the sum of X. So that is for the worth that you are giving back to him, and that's exactly what we need to always think about, like हमारे लिए customer है या customer के लिए हम है. And it starts with that, and we have to always think or feel or work like the customer does. And in our company, it started with that I was a customer myself. Like I
wow.
was in the same job for almost 10 to 12 years. And it was a very well validated use case. And that's how I started my journey. And now when I go for some sales meeting, if I'm talking their language, it is directly correlating, and my sales become more of a consultative sale. And I don't need to go to that depths. And once they know that this guy is exactly talking about the values or the pain points that is going to solve. So that's how we establish trust,
Yeah.
and that's how we get on board with so many big names. And like uh, usually in this area of our business, mostly this top German, American, and European companies are there as vendor. But as an Indian company, uh, because of this customer understanding is the only backbone because of which we are able to establish ourselves, register as a vendor, and start working with our customer shoulder to shoulder. So that is something I would like to add quickly. And thank you, Lemon
Thank you.
Ideas, for this opportunity and our long connection. And we have to Lemon Ideas in Nagpur in one of the event. I also got a chance to pitch about our business in front of a very handsome amount of audience, and we got a very good. That was my first public pitch, I
Public.
would say, and that's how I'm connected with Lemon Ideas. So
Thank you.
as the name indicates, it's really that. Thing like if we just think about lemon, the first thing comes into mind, and that's exactly what we are doing, and that's
Yeah,
thank you.
thank you, Devendra, for your consistent contribution and support to the community. And I think we will now open up for your audiences. I'll request whomsoever can switch on their videos. Please switch on their videos. We would want to see you. We would want to feel you. We would want to know you. So, if possible, we can make it more interactive. I'll request audiences, whomsoever can, please switch on their videos. In the meanwhile, you can, if you have any questions, you can put them in a chat box, or if you want to go live, you can unmute and go live as well. So I think Manoj has some questions. So Manoj, I think you can go live and ask your question. Manoj.
Yeah, I mean, interesting conversations. Absolutely thrilled to. This is my first Gupshup session, and really interesting stories, startup stories. I had a question in terms for Sagar, because yes, kitchdi is a commodity which is primarily made at home. How did you find that as as a space to work on? I mean, how did you come up with that idea in the first place? Would love to know that.
Sure, Manoj. So this was again at Lemon Ideas. There was a idea funneling session, and then we did a pilot wherein this idea came about. So as I told you, the whole idea was to sell something which is healthy, but in a fast food manner. So whatever was available, which is available even today, was burger, pizzas, vada pav, chart, all that. So we felt khichdi is something which is made at every household in India, right? They have their own versions of khichdi, every state, every community. So we thought, why not we go with this one? Because everyone can connect. So customer connect is very important, right, for any product. So this will be easier for a customer to understand. We will not have to explain what we are doing, what we are selling. So this was the reason why this product was chosen. Another thing was it is easier to do, right? The this particular product, it's easier to make as opposed to the other food items, food dishes. That was primarily the idea, Manoj.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
thanks for answering, Sagar. Sorry, I wanted to make it a two-pronged one. Since you mentioned, most ideas these days are always talking about a TAM, a SOM, or a SAM. And I'm
Correct.
sure for kitchdi, you wouldn't have those numbers,
Correct.
because of the fact that it is a it is coming from a very unregulated market.
Correct.
So how did you identify that opportunity that you can scale actually?
So that's what I'm saying. When we started, we had absolutely no idea how to do this, to be very honest. We just started and we did a pilot for 14 days, Manoj, wherein we got a very good feedback from the customers, and that was the whole driver for us. Later on, over the years, we've understood how to actually, do a business, how to run a restaurant or a cloud kitchen, how to see what is CAC, what is TAM, what is profit margin, what is food cost, all that. So to be very honest, कुछ भी नहीं पता था यार धंधे के बारे में. We just started with the belief that we can probably do this. बस वही था. That was the only thing. Now, over the years, now we have matured and understood what it actually means and how to do it. So now, whenever we open a new outlet, so we are there in 3 cities: Pune, Nagpur, and Bangalore. So, and every 3 months we are trying to open a new one. So now what we do is, I'll give you an idea. So whenever we want to open a new outlet, we go to these Swiggy and Zomato because, as I told you, our predominant business is through online channels. These people give us the data key, boss. This is the market where people are searching for the keyword khichdi. This is the
Mm.
area exact location wherein you can perhaps find a place जहाँ से the probability of sales and the acceptance of your product will be better. So now it has really become very important to get the data from these online aggregators for us in specific. So all this helps us.
Yeah, I think thank you, Sagar, for that. And I think Google search is not just the search now. So a search on Zomato and Swiggy is also matters. So I think Himanshu have something. So over to you, Himanshu. Please unmute and you can ask your question.
सर आई वांट टू आस्क द फर्स्ट मूवर एंड द लास्ट मूवर. अगर सपोज कोई कंपनी फर्स्ट मूवर है और उनका यूनिक प्रोडक्ट है और सपोज उनका बिजनेस चल रहा है और किसी बड़े बिजनेस प्लेयर ने उस कंपनी अगर उसी सेक्टर में अगर लमसम अमाउंट इन्वेस्ट किया तो कस्टमर एम्पैथी जैसे है, कस्टमर का ट्रस्ट है. अगर सपोज हम जो प्रोडक्ट बेच रहे हैं वो महंगा है और अगर सपोज कौन सा बिग प्लेयर आया उसमें अगर उसने प्राइस कम कर दिए तो हम कस्टमर हमने प्रोडक्ट अगर उसमें कैसे रहेगा, कस्टमर हमारा प्रोडक्ट लेगा ये कैसे डिसाइड करेंगे?
Sure.
उनका प्रोडक्ट लेगा, उनका सस्ता है तो ऐसे में. सर
Sure.
आई वांट टू
I think, yeah, Himanshu, I read your question. So Purvi, would you want to respond to that in terms of competition with the big fishes
Yes, yes,
in
yes.
the
Definitely.
ocean?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Himanshu. That's a very wide and a broad question for entrepreneurs, and most of the entrepreneurs don't step like they doesn't step just because of these things. Yeah, this is very. But entrepreneurship is a risk you need to take, and it's also very adventurous journey. So कभी ऐसा होता है कि अगर फर्स्ट मूवर आप हो और आप एक कैटेगरी एक निश क्रिएट कर रहे हो, there are chances that the companies which are not primarily into this kind of a business they will come if they will get to know कि ठीक है रिसर्च हो रहा है अच्छा चल रहा है तो they would come. But a company like हमने देखा है उबर ने जब स्टार्ट किया था या जब एप्पल ने स्टार्ट किया था, सो जब आप कुछ इनोवेट करते हो ना तो एक ऐसा चीज आती है कि क्या हो पाएगा नहीं हो पाएगा, हर कोई कॉपी कर लेगा. बट इसमें मैं आपको एक चीज बताऊंगी, ऑलवेज स्टिक टू द विजन. आपकी कंपनी का विजन क्या है आपको इस पे ध्यान देना पड़ेगा. अगर आपकी कंपनी का विजन बैग बनाना है और फिर आप कहीं से एक एंटी लॉस एंटी थेफ्ट बैग या फिर ऐसा देख रहे हो और फिर आप उसको बना के एक प्रोडक्ट लेके आ रहे हो, आई डोंट थिंक सो दैट इज योर कॉम्पिटिशन. आप अगर एक विजन पे चल रहे हो वेयर यू हैव ऑलरेडी फाउंड द इकोसिस्टम ऑफ द स्मार्ट लगेज जैसे कि हमारे केस में है, तो हम क्या कर रहे हैं इसमें कि अगर कोई बड़ा कॉम्पिटिटर आता है वी आर नॉट स्केर्ड फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल. एंड सेकेंड थिंग इज बहुत सारे बैरियर्स होते हैं जैसे कि आप पेटेंट वगैरह भी होते हैं टेक अगर मूवर हो या फिर दूसरी चीजों में भी, बट यू डोंट नीड टू स्केयर फ्रॉम योर कॉम्पिटिटर. You need to serve to your customer. ये आपके दिमाग में पहला होना चाहिए. तो आप अच्छे प्रोडक्ट बना के आप अपना काम करोगे. And you are selling. If you are selling and if you are first mover with your thing and you are doing good in the market, you are pretty much doing well and you are taking care of customer. तो इससे क्या होगा, आप एक ओरिजिनलिटी क्रिएट कर रहे हो और आप हमेशा ओरिजिनल रहोगे. Means the brand is the original of whatever you are making. So the brand is the original. Like in our case, स्मार्ट लगेज अगर इंडिया में फर्स्ट मूवर कर रहे हैं तो अरिस्टा वर्ल्ड विल बी एस्टैब्लिश्ड एज द ओरिजिनल ऑफ द स्मार्ट लगेज. सो ये चीज एक चीज ऐसी है कि ओरिजिनलिटी, आपके विजन पे आपको वर्क करना पड़ेगा. कॉपी की चिंता इतना मत करिए, बैरियर्स क्रिएट करके रखिए. पेटेंट होता है, डिजाइन पेटेंट होता है, नेम का ट्रेडमार्किंग होता है. इसके अलावा प्राइस जो है, मैं एक चीज और बोलूंगी, प्लीज क्वालिटी को खत्म या खराब मत करिए किसी भी प्राइस पॉइंट के डर से, because that is a very narrow-minded thing that a person can or an entrepreneur can think of. आपकी अगर क्वालिटी ए है तो उसको कभी भी किसी प्राइस पॉइंट के डर पे कम मत करिए. आप उस क्वालिटी को क्रिएट करते रहिए. If you are doing a good, you are taking care of your customer, you are sorted. You don't need to lot of think about competition. Don't go into that polluted game. So I think that's something which I would say.
Yeah, I think thank you, Purvi, for that. And in fact, I think one of my very common statement which I make in such interactions is कि आपके पास दो ही choice है, या तो बहुत पैसा होना चाहिए competition के खेलने के लिए, या आपके पास innovation होना चाहिए. दो में से एक चीज होना आवश्यक है, otherwise it becomes very tough. So you can be in the red ocean, absolutely fine if you have a good money and you can fight, you can get into the competition with those so-called big whales. But if you have an innovation, probably ये बिग वेल्स के लिए इनोवेट कर पाना बहुत डिफिकल्ट होता है. दैट्स द काइंड ऑफ एडवांटेज which I think startups have. So thank you so much for that. So maybe someone has some more questions or some more conversation threads here. We have some time left. So Sachin, if you have something to ask.
Hi, so basically I'm from Nagpur city, and a very good morning to everyone. It's a good morning to me because I work till morning 4. Every founder can relate. The problem with me is, when it comes to customer empathy, I'm in a start of a journey. I'm just a budding entrepreneur, wherein my parents are working professional in IT. So it is, very much difficult for a person who is having a background which is safe, secured, and earning good in IT to all the way go to a place called entrepreneurship. So when it comes to customer empathy or customer acquisition, what I'm facing issue is I want a solution for that. When I run out for customers, or when we focus on sales and user experience, user interface, the problem is we get avoided with our product. Because we are not having any mentorship program at this level. We are not having any incubation, or we are not having those smart minds जहां पर मैं किसी को भी सैलरी दे दूं और बोलूं कि यार प्लीज यू फोकस ऑन प्रोडक्ट, आई फोकस ऑन सेल्स. Today I'm doing everything out here, right? When I used to work with Byju's, so I was a person who was pan India topper in sales. But when I started with my own product, now it is like if I focus on sales, my product development is at the same level. There's no upgraded version or there's no update on that. When it comes to marketing, customer is not getting satisfied because you can do sales, you can give him a product, but after sales service you cannot give without money, and that is an issue with us. So at this early stage, you guys might have faced the same. So what are the solutions?
Yeah, maybe. Sure, Sachin. Sachin, I understand your situation, and it's something I think everybody of us would go through this situation. So absolutely, we can relate to it. And this what I think will comes to the proper prioritization and validation at first. So maybe a quick word from Sagar on this. A very quick word, Sagar.
Sachin, see, this is faced by everybody, so don't worry about that. It's not a very big issue. I would say, since yours is a tech product, what you can do is go with a MVP, something which is accepted by most of users. Okay, you can see one thing you all should have in mind: you can never satisfy 100% of your customers. You can never do that. Neither Apple can do that. Okay, the most valuable company now, Nvidia, but yeah. So you have to go with the maximum satisfaction which is possible. So जितने ज़्यादा लोग product दिखा सकते हो दिखाओ, try कराओ, test कराओ, and whoever gives you a feedback of improvement, do that whenever possible. So एक basic product बनाओ, try to pitch it to people whom you can within your whatever circle, community, and reach. Have see, it is said that first 10 sales are most difficult, right? So once you do that ना, पहले 10 कर लोगे तो 100 पहुंचना मुश्किल नहीं है. First 10 is the most difficult. Go in your circle, go with go with Lemon Ideas ka circle. You can get into people. You're telling your parents are already in IT, so you can leverage all of these connections there. You have to do it, and you have to be, and you were in sales. So see, a good businessman has to be a बेशरम businessman, right? You cannot think कि यार मैं कैसे पिच करूं, मैं कैसे बोलूं, मैं क्या बोलूं. नहीं भाई, बेचना है तो बेचना है, उसमें टेंशन नहीं है, उसमें सोचना नहीं है. किसी को भी तुमको लगता है दिस इज योर पोटेंशियल कस्टमर, उसको बोल दो. उसको तुम चाय पे मिलने गए हो, चलेगा. उसको 2 मिनट पिच कर दो भाई, इंटरेस्ट अगर दिखेगा तो यू कैन ऑलवेज लाइन अप डेमो और समथिंग ना. तो ये मार्केटिंग देन सेल्स और ये it it comes in later on. So you
Later,
have
yes.
a product, you have a product
Yeah,
which
yes,
you are
I got it.
satisfied with. ठीक है. Once you are satisfied, show it to 10 of your friends, show it to your parents, show it to
No,
people
at
whom
present,
that.
like, sorry for the
Yeah.
interruption, but at present, the thing is, I have 1.5 lakh plus customers with me. But when it comes to,
Okay.
you need to upgrade your application, or you need to,
Right.
have innovative approaches for the pathway. You find out people, and for that, you focus either on sales or either on the product.
नहीं Sachin, I got your point. ठीक है. Now you're saying you already have 1.5 lakh customers. So this, you have to hire people. We are always afraid of hiring people. ठीक है. As a startup founder, or we always think we can do this, we can do that, we can do everything, but then nothing, not even one aspect will be taken care properly. ठीक है. हम कर सकते हैं, ऐसा नहीं है, लेकिन वो ढंग से नहीं होगा. Hire
Yes,
proper people, give them task. It's okay, पहले तुम hire अच्छे cost पे करोगे, थोड़ा सा burn होगा पैसा, but then if you know you have customers, you
yes,
already have feedback. यार, you're telling you have customers, so you
yes.
already have their feedback, क्या करना है क्या नहीं. Hire people,
Yesterday
give
was the
them a
first
task,
time.
and
Yes,
just get it done. Don't worry about burning money. Keep a limit to that, and go according to plan. Don't try to do everything by yourself. Like you're saying, trying to do sales, marketing, pitching, everything. Don't do
I
that.
think,
Hire people. Let it delegate. Delegation is really important if you want to grow.
yeah, I think thanks, Sagar. And I'll quickly add here that a lot of times this MBA
Sir, I have
education,
a I
I'll
Deepak sir,
come back. I'll come back to you. Yeah,
I have
Purvi,
a
please.
quick solution for Sachin on this aspect. It happens all a lot of time you got stuck, and that's as Sagar also said that it is really important for you to hire in this space. But a quick thing is for marketing, like you need to offer. You have 1.5 lakh customers. You said you need to offer a, that's a service thing, right? Service also that's a tech service that you are providing. Offer a create something, offer a free thing to few of them, like to new customers. If you are creating, if you are going to group, offer a free service to that, and then once you enter,
the
you can.
problem with me is I am in fintech. So
Yes.
my customers are not getting any service or product. They are getting everything
Yeah.
virtually. So yesterday
So the
was the
product.
first time. Yesterday was the first time I visited Lemon Ideas, Pratap Nagar, and in Nagpur itself. And now what is happening, I'll tell you. Current scenario of my company is I failed in 3 startups. This is my fourth one, out of which the third startup it crashed because of COVID. I saw nearly 50, 60 people standing in front of my home. And now there's a time wherein after 3 years, I am again standing, but I'm having self-doubt. I'm having
I think
like I don't know what are the problems with me.
Sachin, let me sum up here. I am already liking you. I'm in love with you because you said so proudly you have failed. So I would personally spend some time with you and we'll try to sort it out. All right, fantastic. So publicly admitting I failed 3 times so proudly, I think that's something strikes me. So Sachin, I'll meet you personally. Absolutely fantastic. So I think Venkatesh, you have something, though we are out of time, but maybe a quick, if you want to have something very quickly, Venkatesh.
Yeah, that's why I lowered my hand because I realized the time. I'm audible, I guess. So
Yes,
what
yes.
I'm what I'm struggling with is the innovation part and the price part. We have it covered. Okay. What I'm constantly debating with my team, with my co-founders, is the cost of acquisition for each customer. Okay. So there is this temptation to spend more in acquiring the first 100 or even 1,000 or more customers, but then I know that in order to recover the cost I'll be spending in acquiring these 1,000, I will need another 100,000 to recover that cost, because our cost value that we are proposing is too low for different reasons, because we don't think people will pay for what we are
Right.
offering. Not yet, not till we have built a brand. I know there is no magic formula. It all depends on the amount we are willing to invest and runway, etc. But quickly, anything you would like to
Yeah,
share on
sure.
the cost of acquisition would be nice.
Sure. I think maybe Purvi, would you want to respond to this very
I
quickly?
want to,
Cost of it.
Deepak sir, I want to hear the question again, Venkatesh.
So, so the question is the cost of acquisition in terms of the first customer. So we normally have a temptation ki the cost could be very high, but we want to acquire the first 100 customers. But the problem is to recover this high cost later on, you will need probably 1,000 more customers. So how do we move out of this चक्रव्यूह where हमारा product का pricing actually ज़्यादा है, but हम उसको बहुत lower करके we start selling it because we want कि हमारा cost of acquisition. So how do you relate to this typical entrepreneur's dilemma when they are building the first X customer funnel?
Okay, so Venkatesh, here I quickly want to understand what is your CAC now?
What is our?
CAC, what is your customer acquisition cost?
Right now, it is negligible because we are not spending money on advertisement.
Okay. So I think there are other ways also where you can, lower down your customer acquisition cost. First thing is the perspective it is very important. The perspective where you need to take it as a marketing. Like first thing is you need to get going in the market. So for that thing, you need to be there in the market and you need to tell everyone, okay, this is my thing and this is my product. What's your product? I want to understand here.
So our product is an international first where we provide a chatbot for a person's personality based on his or her personality report. So some of the things you mentioned, Purviji, we tackled already. We launched very recently, just a couple of weeks back, and we launched with a decent bang for a small startup like us on national TV by going live on national TV channel. The question really is on the raw cost of advertisement and the raw cost of acquiring customers. We are building our own networks to get attention. For example, we will in English we are already unique. We will be having something in Hindi also for personality development and generative AI chatbots and other Indian languages. And that's why we want to keep our costs very low so that people can afford them. But again, then the question is, how much should we really go all out on advertising and stuff? And we did try some advertising through LinkedIn, through Google Ads, through MSN Ads, because we got a lot of free credits. From Facebook also, we got some free credits. And the results are really horrible. I mean, with a click-through ratio of less than 1%, even with the best design ad, it is a thankless space to go, and it is really thankless. It doesn't excite me at all. And when I tell investors कि भैया इसमें जो हम कर रहे हैं इसमें पैसा नहीं है, visibility है. Even before we went live, we were on national TV. Which startup gets that kind of visibility, right? But then investors always look at the hardcore return on the value, and then to convince them to advertise, to spend money on advertisement. I'm not convinced in the first place. So how
Sure.
can I?
I
So
think
I think,
Venkatesh, yeah, I think in the
so-
interest of time, Purvi, can you just quickly
yeah,
respond in a
quickly,
minute?
two,
Yeah.
three points I have. Quickly, I'll just summarize it up. So you said that you just started a few weeks back. So I would suggest you have some patience and have some patience in building your product, or at least having the MVP. So you need to have the proof of concept from the market first. So that's a thing, that proof of concept need to be known. Like what is this for? You need to segment your customer. Like you need to, first thing is you need to create a segment of your customer, that who could be your customer, research on them, uh, take out the data of your customer and research
Purviji,
on
we
them.
already launched the product 3 weeks back, so some of this is already done.
Yes, so okay, if that is done, do not only based on the proper Facebook or that kind of advertisement where you are, just wasting your money on CSE and all that. I think you should plan off some marketing activities first. So there you will get your thing aware. Like I can understand your idea is good, personalized chatbot AI. That's happening. That is, the idea is really good, but you need to go to the right kind of a people, and then you need to acquire some money from there. Like you don't need to just go full-fledgedly in the advertisement and marketing. Do a fragmented advertisement and marketing, segmented advertisement and marketing. Do not waste your money in doing in taking the wider audience. Narrow down your audience if you're going with a Facebook, or if you want to go to the TV ads. I don't think so you can right now in that stage. You don't have to go to TV ads. You need to find some very mediocre thing. Like you can connect with the community, and LinkedIn is a good place. There also you can invest. So two, 3 areas, just find it out, and there fragmented and segmented marketing, do it. If you're getting revenue, if people are liking your product, if there's a slight feedback or a changes, because you're in that stage where you will get the feedback, you will get the that what customer are liking, what not. You will frame out that who are your target TG, target group. So you are in that stage. So you need to be really patient on that thing. And if you are doing things well, you will end up in acquiring some money, and you're getting some customer who will be there with you. So that thing, that revenue, that proof of concept, you need to go and show to your investors. You need to show to your investor your potential, not the revenue for now, because you just started your business. It's on the idea stage, more of having the more of having on the proof of concept. So it's not a revenue stage. So first thing is work on your proof of concept. Second thing is fragment your target customer and segment your marketing areas. Do not spend more, but get the validation as much as you can. And with that validation, that data, show it to your investor and show the potentiality, the market, research on the market, that how big is your market, and show that to your investor, and show the path, that how you will reach that market and who you will target. I think that way, if you are generating some sales, they will definitely invest. Some people who can understand that what you're doing and how big is the market, the potentiality, they will invest in your potential. So that's how you can do.
Can't hear Deepak ji. I can't hear
Sir,
Deepak ji.
you are not audible. We can't hear you.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so what I was saying is, in the interest of time, I'll quickly wrap up now. Thank you, everyone. Venkatesh ji, we can keep meeting every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and we can get into more conversation. We'll be happy to get into a more detailed conversation on the challenges which you are facing. Thank you, Sagar. Thank you, Purvi. Thank you, everyone, for being part of this Gupshup. And we will again meet you all next
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
सबकी जय हो, सबका मंगल हो, सबका शुभ हो. Wish you all a happy Sunday, happy Friendship Day, and
Thank you. Happy Friendship Day.
over to Simran. I think stay on for a minute more. I think over to you, Simran. Thank you. Sabhi ko namaskar. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Before ending this session, here's the schedule for future Gupshup sessions. You can take a screenshot. It will come in handy if you want to join more sessions like this. You can also scan this QR code to join our WhatsApp community. We also have an excellent work opportunity of a community manager to manage a extensive community of more thousands of entrepreneurs and joining this startup ecosystem. If you are interested, you can scan this QR code and mark your intention. You can also take a screenshot for now. We would like to invite if you have any suggestions for future Gupshup sessions, like this one was on customer empathy. If you have any suggestions, you can drop it in the chat box. Thank you all for this wonderful session, for marking your presence here. Now, before departing, let's please all stand for national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा, विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा। तब शुभ नामे जागे, तब शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तब जय गाथा। जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
Thank you, everyone.